So welcome. And I just thought we would just reiterate that there's nothing here to achieve. Um, there's nothing to do, but just be open and curious. And you may want to just arrive in this space right now. So whatever has happened throughout the day or the busyness of the weekend, just starting to feel into your seated position. Just feel the feet on the floor, on the chair, on the bed, just arriving as you are. And just sense into that, the weight of your body being held, being supported. We just want to create really conscious, safe space to just be held and for you to fully release. Take a nice deep breath in. Just begin to notice your body with the breath. As you go in through the nose and then slowly out through the mouth. And with each breath, just notice that you're arriving here more fully, slowing the body, slowing the mind. And just allow all that noise in the world outside of this space to soften. So this is a pause, space for listening. Always welcome to participate. Stay silent and just take a few breaths here. And then you may just want to name a little intention for yourself. Maybe a word just drops into your mind. Just let it settle quietly within you. Tonight we're going to look at the theme of allowing different possibilities of who you are becoming. Just allowing that space for those parts of you that may want to gently be revealed to come up to meet you. As always, don't force, don't be disappointed. Everything feels like it's knocking on the door. Just creating this space is powerful in itself. As I've said, the previous evenings, we are in the dead of winter. We are really in that slow phase. There's lots around us, around trying new things, and you may start to feel a stirring as we go toward February. But any kind of new me or any goals or dreams, whatever they may be, whether it's study or career moves or just showing up for yourself, might not fully align until March time. So still rest and go steady. Yeah, be gentle with yourselves. So I'm just going to, I've got my lovely oracles again. So I'm just going to pull a card for the group. And these cards don't tell you what to do or how to show up. It's simply a mirror, and I can guarantee that you will all interpret and take something from it totally differently. So these are a lovely Kyle Gray deck um, that I got. I need to line up, but they're so nice. Anyway, so when you see or hear this card, just notice what stands out for you. Might be a feeling, might be a word, but you don't really need to understand it, and you just need to let it land. So I'm just, here it is. This is of a great teacher. So it says at the bottom there, what does it say at the bottom there? Learn from spiritual experiences. So yeah, anything that card pops out for you, and its meaning might shift over the next hour. It's always nice to have a little focus point. Yeah, see what it brings up for you. So yeah, we are going to go into a little bit of journaling prompts. So I'm going to do the meditation at the end. But it's just to become really curious about different ways in which you experience yourself, your embodiment, your imagination, and just to invite some curiosity into the gentle possibilities of who you are, where you may be going. We rarely have that time and space to show up intentionally. Life has demands upon us. We're often out doing things that need to be got done, and we're racing away, and that's okay, but it's really good to just come back in, to pull that energy back in, just have that moment of, okay, let's get a little bit intentional. So the meditation that I'm going to do after will take you through that. But initially, I just want you to jot down what kind of feels alive for you around the different parts of yourself. What feels possible? What feels like it's starting to stir? This is a real time for dreaming big. When people say, "Oh yeah, that's a dream of mine," just go bigger. Like if there's part of yourself that you feel like you've lost contact with because of the demands of work, I definitely notice a different way of my whole being on a Wednesday and Thursday when I'm in like my paid employment. And although it's something that I really enjoy, it is manic. And I lose that sense of just that connection with myself, connection with nature, of just like, right, I need to get to that place at that time, and I might not be noticing, but also just thinking about things that bring you joy, things that used to bring you joy, the more playful parts of yourself, what might feel possible of the things that you like doing as a child, jigsaw puzzles, Play-Doh, reading, all those sorts of things. Or maybe it is to invite in a part of you that you've never felt like empowered enough or courageous enough to be, especially as women. I do talk about about our experiences as women. I did have somebody inquire about joining the circle, and they were male, and I wouldn't be, I wouldn't say, no, you're not allowed, but there's also part of me that's like, oh, we have a different experience, but we are just all souls navigating this experience. But, as women, we often were raised, societally, or if we had, you know, unless we had parents or role models that were like, yeah, you can be a writer, or you could be an artist, or you could be on stage, like those kind of creative roles. If we don't have anyone that we can identify with and think, oh yeah, I can do that, we tend to stay in a very narrow lane that can determine our life choices up until at the end of our days. So really thinking about maybe where have I been blinkered, of really wanting to open that landscape, but that vision field, but no, this is what you've got to do. It's better to do, it's better to do a degree that you'll get a job in, or, where you've just been knocked and shunted along the way and pulled away from that heart-led, soul-led focus. um and it's reality, isn't it, of life that we'll get, we might go for the better paid job, um because that can make our nervous system calmer because there's financial security. But where have you left parts of yourself or your soul along the way? Just thinking what really brings joy in. Feels like it might have been squeezed out because there's not enough time. Also, things that you're just curious, but you haven't pursued it. Maybe doing a dance class, traveling to a new place. Just thinking of those possibilities. I'm journaling for those that haven't done any before. It's just writing down bullet points. It can be writing, it can be symbols. Symbols can speak more than language, which is so limiting. Sometimes language isn't enough. So even if, as I'm speaking, you're thinking, not really sure, just let the pen just doodle over the page, or let my words just wash over you. But it's just about getting that curiosity, that little thread, that bit of hunger for things that we may not have opportunity to think about at the time. So if you want to just slowly finish up your journaling and put your pen and paper to one side, we're just going to get comfortable and do this guided mindfulness journey where we may or may not meet many selves. But yeah, just trying to activate some of that imagination as well. Daring to dream. Very often I hear people so much like, I'd love to do that, but so I'd really, if your imagination does go in this meditation, really be aware of our logical minds, our critical selves that may go, they're so ridiculous. I can't do that. Yeah, but what would, we're so limited by what we think is our potential, but also what others' reactions will be. So really allow this space to just almost like you are entering a dream state. And if you notice resistance coming up to it, then that is gold as well. That is all speaking to you. So, yeah. So, if you want to get yourself into a nice, cozy space, you may just want to settle the body, become really comfortable. So I always say, if you need to shift, change position, do that. You might want to close the eyes, just find a fixed gaze point. Just bring your attention to the breath. No need to change the breath, just simply noticing. Just really witness that inhale arriving and the exhale releasing. With each breath out, feel your body settling more deeply to that support. Just checking in the face, forehead, eyebrows, browning the concentration that may be there from the day. You just want to actually bring your hands to your face and give a simple massage around the temples, just loosening any tension that we might have in the face, the cheekbones. Allow that jaw to become unclenched. Make sure that the teeth aren't clenched together. Any movement to let go of any tension. And then down to the neck. We want to do yes and no gestures. Looking up towards the ceiling and down toward the floor. Gently over your left shoulder, right shoulder, just releasing that. And then down into belly, allow the belly to really soften, hold a lot of fear, tension in the gut. We get a lot of stored emotions, that gut brain, that gut feeling, gut instincts, just allowing these spaces to relax. And if thoughts arise, that's okay. Meditation isn't about being free of thought or emptying the mind often here. Simply becoming an observer of thought. We don't want to eradicate, just notice what is going on. You want to think of your thoughts, like traffic on a busy road or trains as you stand on the platform. Just pulling in and then departing, just letting them go. We don't need to board them. We don't need to justify their arrival. We just need to notice them, acknowledge them, and gently let them go. Just imagine yourself now standing on the edge of a wide, open landscape. This landscape, one of whichever you choose. Maybe a forest, countryside, top of the mountain or a cliff. Just allow the imagination to start to roll, and this place feels safe. There's a knowingness, a familiarity in this space, but also a timelessness. There is no rush. There's no expectations. Just simply need to be. This landscape represents possibility. There's many paths, potentials, and versions of you that exist beyond this moment. So just take a moment here to notice where you are. This landscape, just inviting the deepening into this imagination, thinking about the light. Ground beneath you. Weather, really feeling into the openness around you. No restrictions. Here to choose yet, just to witness. Just noticing where you are in this vast landscape. Maybe what emotions pop for you. And as you stand, you become aware that you are not alone. That in the distance, or maybe closer than you expect, many different versions of you. These are not better or worse versions, they are simply possibilities. Each version holds a different expression of your essence. Maybe at first you notice the ones that feel more familiar. Maybe some are surprising. Some might feel quite distant. Some bold, creative, rested, brave, soft, or expansive. So whatever those versions may be, just allow those versions of yourself to appear in whatever way feels natural. Don't need to see them clearly. Some may just feel like they're in the distance. Just sense them. Sense their presence. Simply imagine their presence. Mind wanders too far, just bring it back to the breath. Remember, the breath is our anchor. We can fill our bellies up with those lovely deep inhales. Let go of the tension with exhales. As these versions of you come through, just notice how they carry themselves. They move through the world. No need to analyze, resist that temptation to explain. Just stay in observation, full of curiosity. What do these versions of you, what does their energy hold? What energy do they possess? Among these many selves, you may notice one version gently drawing your attention. Not demanding, it's not urgent, she's just present. This version is not a fixed destination. This is not a big life choice. This is an invitation. I invite you now to just ask yourself softly and inwardly, what version of myself am I being called to become in this next chapter? What version of myself am I being called to become in this next chapter? You may sense a feeling, an image, a word, nothing at all. All responses are welcome. You do feel that you've made contact with that version of yourself that you are being called to become. Again, just notice how this version of you shows up in the world. How does she relate to herself? How does she meet others? How does she feel? What feels differently in her body? pace she's showing up at. Presence, energy. Just remember that there is no expectation for any defined answers. Just inviting this imagination, making contact with this practice. The clarity may not come this evening, but it may just be starting to weave a thread. It will make sense a little further down the line. You are simply just exploring. How does it feel to just explore? If it feels right for you, I invite you to imagine gently stepping into a version of yourself. Not permanently, just for this moment. Stepping into that version of yourself. Feel how it is to inhabit their posture, how you hold yourself, their breath, using the breath here in this moment to really connect and embody this part of you, this version of you, and their whole way of being. Just notice what comes up for you, what is being made available to you. To embody this energy, even briefly, even fleetingly. And this journey isn't about forcing change, simply embodiment. Becoming aware that possibilities are options, that there are choices, and it's about allowing a new way of being to be felt and to be experienced in the body. Know that this part of you, this version of you that you are spending time with, is not separate from who you are now. Doesn't require goals, targets, because she is here now. She is present now and already lives within you. She's just been waiting to meet you. So when we can just drop away from the everyday, step out those demands that we place upon ourselves and what others may place upon us. Just swim through that possibility, standing in this vast landscape. To meet these versions of yourself that are all within you, patiently waiting to be witnessed, to be held, to be contacted by you. How that feels. They are lost parts or new parts, just gently gathering. Just going to gently release that imagery now. Just allow that landscape to soften, to fade. Knowing that you can always come back to this space. Now we're just going to bring our attention back to the breath. Just simply knowing that when you are breathing in, you are breathing in. You're breathing out. You're breathing out. You hold this small mantra. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. Really connecting with that breath, noticing how the breath moves the body. It expands the rib cage as it fills the belly, as the chest rises and falls with an exhale. Just connecting you to yourself, your safety, your anchor. You just gently bring yourself back to the space around you, listening out for any noises, maybe rock, quiet hum of a refrigerator. Next door is a washing machine. Just allow ourselves to gently integrate back into the outside world, the external that lives outside of our body, that we are part of. And give a little bit of movement to the fingers, toes. Again, noticing that support beneath you. Making any adjustments. Rolling of the shoulders. Releasing of the neck. When you are ready, just gently bat the eyes open if they have been closed. Lift your gaze. Maybe just notice one thing in the room with a beginner's mindset. Just imagining it is the first time you have seen that tassel on the cushion and the way that the light reflects. Balloon. That's what's in my room. So just coming back into this space. If you are still feeling a little bit floaty, you can rub your hands together. It's generating that energy. And if you do want to slope off here, you are welcome to. I'm going to do a little bit of journaling reflection and that mindfulness meditation. If you don't want to, you can slide off and you can catch up on the recording at another time. If you do want to stay for some meditation, some journaling, sorry. I need to ground myself. I'm just going to integrate some of that insight that you might have captured through writing. If you want to gently grab journal and pen, just write slowly. It's not about capturing absolutely everything. It's not a document. It's just about capturing what feels alive. So, first prompt, just think about what you experienced during that meditation. This could be any thoughts or any felt sense. If you haven't meditated or you don't come into a slower pace regularly, it can sometimes give rise to uncomfortableness. I just feel very long overdue. Think about what versions, parts of yourself that stood out. What stood out the most? Felt that you could contact. Version that felt closer, maybe. What qualities of that version are really pulling you toward embodying into your next chapter? Maybe it was part of you that you want to let go, even though the exercise is about inviting and stepping in and embodying a version of ourselves. Sometimes our mind and imagination can take us down a different path. And instead of calling in, it may have felt a strong urge to release something out. And which versions of you may have seen more in the distance, that maybe you're more curious about, that you would like to spend more time with? What kind of energies they bring to you? Just allowing the words to arrive in their own time. Spend the next couple of minutes jotting down any thoughts, drawing, doodling any symbols. Finally, just thinking back to this card pulled at the beginning, this great teacher, anything that's connected back in with that. As you're writing or connecting with that, I'm just going to read what I say is the great teacher without my glasses. So know that what is happening around you is divinely inspired. Learn from your current experiences, then share them with others. This card is one of the most widely acknowledged and loved spiritual teachers of all time. There is a great teacher in every tradition, sometimes inspired by Jesus or any religious head figure. In spirituality, this card represents the one which you feel closest. As well as the great teacher within us, the teacher wears simple clothes here to demonstrate that even if you live a simple life, it can be an incredibly spiritual one. He is surrounded by a sense of serenity and harmony because he has absolute trust in the higher power that moves through him. And the dove on the card represents receiving answers through signs and experiencing peace through joy. This card can represent a teacher in your life or the great teacher within you. Either way, it shows you have dedicated a lot of time, effort, and energy to understanding yourself and the world. You are having spiritual experiences at this time and gaining a greater awareness of what you need to do in order to grow. There is a chance that if you have been having challenges recently, you've surmounted them and allowed them to be vehicles of lessons helping you and your spiritual connection. Oh, that's us coming to a close, but not the end of the circle. I will end the recording. Just hold on that you haven't got to become anything immediately. You know, just having that awareness of that, being in that presence of potential possible transformation is powerful in itself. And just dreaming among that landscape. I'd really encourage you to go back, you know, maybe as your head hits the pillow, just every night, just kind of hold that thought, that you as you stand there in that vast open landscape, and inviting those possibilities in, and those versions of you that might felt a little bit out of reach in the distance, allowing them to come closer and make themselves known. And yeah, I'm going to stop the recording there, and you are welcome to share any thoughts, insights, anything that you've got going on for you today that you actually want to just share and offload.